Chinese tech companies in Mexico have expanded their industrial footprint by 39% over the past 2 years, suggesting a potential shift towards more advanced manufacturing in the future. While high-tech investment currently accounts for only 3% of Chinese-occupied industrial space in Mexico, this figure is expected to grow as Chinese companies seek to establish a stronger foothold in the North American market. The automotive sector has been a key player in this investment trend. In 2023, Tesla announced plans to establish a factory in Mexico, which attracted a large number of suppliers to the country. Many of these suppliers were already producing components or raw materials for Tesla in China. Chinese auto parts makers are rapidly setting up plants on the outskirts of Monterrey, where Tesla plans its manufacturing plant. This growing economic relationship is supported by several key agreements between China and Mexico. The China-Mexico Bilateral Investment Agreement, signed in 2008 and effective since 2009, provides a framework for investment protection and dispute resolution mechanisms. This agreement has been crucial in fostering confidence among Chinese investors looking to enter the Mexican market. Additionally, the Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement, effective since 2006, prevents companies and individuals from being taxed on the same income in both countries. This agreement covers income taxes imposed by both nations and defines the concept of permanent establishment for tax purposes, further facilitating cross-border business activities. Both China and Mexico are also signatories to various multilateral treaties as members of the World Trade Organization. These include the Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights, the Agreement on Trade-Related Investment Measures, and the General Agreement on Trade in Services. These agreements provide a broader framework for international trade and investment. The evolving China-Mexico economic relationship is occurring against the backdrop of global supply chain restructuring. Many companies are considering reshoring, moving production back to or closer to their home markets, or adopting a China Plus One strategy to diversify their supply chains. Factors driving these considerations include rising labor costs in China, the ongoing US-China trade tensions, and disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Mexico, with its proximity to the U.S. market and lower operational costs, presents an attractive option for companies looking to reshore or diversify. As Jordan Duart, president of cross-border logistics specialist Redwood, Mexico, notes, "We are seeing more Chinese companies moving their production facilities from China to Mexico. They can bring in their parts and raw materials from China and then produce the product in Mexico at their Chinese facilities and then ship those goods into the U.S. They are adding some value by operating in Mexico and taking advantage of the USMCA to have their product made in Mexico. This nearshoring of manufacturing enables companies to change a product's origin of goods, also referred to as the economic nationality of a product." Mary Lovely, a senior fellow at the Peterson Institute for International Economics, explains, "The shift towards Mexico is not limited to Chinese companies." Simon Cohen, founder and CEO
of what you have to do to have a product that's labeled Mexican as opposed to Chinese in origin, you have to substantially transform it, which means it has to become a different product. So if I get a whole set of wooden boards, I turn that into a desk, I have substantially transformed that product. It has to change customs categories.